Every town has one. The scary house across the street from the cemetery, where the girl lived alone with her mother. And something terrible happened. In Millwood, that girl was me.
Two can keep a secret if one of them is dead. That's right, you guys. My name is Madison Brodsky, and I am at the bloody red carpet premiere of Pretty Little Liars Original Sin, where we're talking to some of the cast members about how it feels to bring on this torch for their favorite childhood show. All right, I know the answer to this already, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Were you a fan of the original series?
I was. I know it's a bit of a secret, but I'm revealing it tonight. I was a big fan of the original. I watched it in middle school, and I remember it was my introduction into the YA genre, and I felt so rebellious watching it because it's so risque and like young adult, and I was like, ooh, who am I watching this show? So yes, I was a big fan.
Tell me a little bit about your casting experience, and what was your reaction when you found out, oh my God, I am going to be a liar?
I was elated. Roberto and Lindsay, the showrunners of Pretty Little Liars Original Sin, they were incredible in the audition process. And I remember telling them, I don't know who's getting this role, but honestly, this has been one of the most loveliest audition processes of my entire life, because they're so warm and welcoming and collaborative and open to my interpretation of the character, and that was just really lovely to have. And so when I booked the part, I was over the moon. I remember I was on set, I was filming a Disney movie in Canada, and I was in between setups. I snuck into a dressing room, took the call, and just tried to scream silently. It was really, really cool. I stayed up all night.
So when you got the call that you were going to be a part of the revamped series, what was your reaction?
I went into shock. It had been like kind of a 2-week process, and I had imagined myself getting the part so many times because I'm a big positive energy person, and then when the real words actually happened, I was like, it's not real. I couldn't feel the joy. And then of course 20 minutes later I'm screaming and crying and all the stuff, but just total disbelief. I'm still in disbelief. It's so insane.
Well, I was going to say, once the emotions finally settled in, did you go back and rewatch the series? Were you inspired by anyone's characters?
I did that night. I went and I called my close friends I was in Texas at the time, and I had 4 friends come over, and of course we popped some champagne and we all watched the first episode that night. And then I believe before I had gotten up to Woodstock, which things got very busy once we started filming, but I rewatched the whole first season again.
It's not too late to turn back. Oh my God, it's Spirit Week?
Action. Nobody wants your pregnant, tragic ass here.
Well, I'm not going anywhere. In fact, I'm gonna be Spirit Queen. She's got my vote.
So tell me about your casting experience. What was your reaction when you got the call and you were like, oh my God, I'm going to be a liar?
Well, it was a lot of tears. I was actually in the room with my acting coach, and he heard the call in the background and he started crying, which made me start crying, because it's such an honor to represent something that you love and art that you looked up to. It's like a dream come true.
Did you go back and rewatch the series?
I wanted to be really protective of Farron and bring a new, fresh perspective to what she brought to the table to Original Sin. So I shied away from rewatching it, but best believe when it ended, I was on it all over again.
Right? Yeah. It's so annoying about how much of a fan I was. I loved the show. It was such a huge part of my personality. I loved it. I was obsessed with everybody, especially Arya. I loved it.
So what was your experience when you went through the casting process and then all of a sudden you found out, oh my God, I'm going to be a liar?
I could not believe it. I remember getting that first email in my inbox and just being like, they're doing this? I could not believe it. I was really excited, and I still am to this day. I can't believe this is my reality.
So what was your reaction when you got the call, you're going to be a part of this revamp?
Stunned. I was literally in my best friend's back of their house, and I got the call and I was pacing in the backyard, and I just kept telling myself, this can't be real. There's just no way. I never thought that I would be here in a million years.
Okay, so you got the call, you're officially a part of it. Did you go back and rewatch the original series? Were you inspired by anyone's characters?
Yeah, I mean, so I am trans and my character is trans, and so I think obviously I wanted our version of the show to handle that with care, and we really did. I love Emily's representation in the original. I think it's so cool to have a bisexual queer character of color out at that time, which was not happening in Hollywood. And I was really inspired and took a lot from her in particular on how to handle this character with care.
I don't think this is any little secret, but were you a fan of the original series?
Yeah, there's receipts all over the internet to prove that. Die-hard OG original PLL fan right here.
So what was your reaction when you went through the casting process and you got the call, you're going to be a liar?
I bawled. I can still cry thinking about it, to be honest. No, it felt incredibly surreal. I grew up loving this show. I remember this show was the first show that made me think, oh my gosh, when I'm in my 20s, I would love to get to be a part of a show like this. So for it to be a show that we gratefully got to take the foundation that they laid out and throw it into our own universe, it's incredible.
Well, talk to me about that process. Did you have an opportunity to talk to any of the OG cast members? Did they give you any advice?
It was funny. The story's out, but I was in a workout class with my friend Lucy, and she randomly looked at me and she was like, "You should do the new Pretty Little Liars show that my friend Roberto's doing." And I remember looking at her and be like, "I could never be you. What are you talking about?" And then a couple months later, I got the email about the show and I texted her, and she was so supportive through the whole thing, waiting to hear the hopeful good news. And then when the news came out, I mean, all of the girls were so kind to kind of send their love to me, and to have that from them has meant the world.
I think we were excited. We were a little intimidated because the original Pretty Little Liars was such a huge pop culture juggernaut with an incredibly passionate and vocal fan base. We knew we had to really honor the original and find a way to tell a new story that brought in new fans, but also hopefully would entice the old fans to come back as well.
And it seems like the original cast is super supportive of this revamp. What has that meant to you?
It's meant so much. We're so happy to be doing this show, but we're also fans of the original show. So seeing that support is huge. It makes us excited. It makes us fan out, and we know that the girls are so excited about that too. So it's just thrilling.
And this the original Sin Little Liars, they themselves were such super fans of the original PLL. It's crazy. So even I know they were so excited when some of the OG PLL started tweeting about the and posting about the trailer. They got so excited, but they themselves, they've all read the books. They've watched all, as we have, they've watched all the shows as we have. So I think that's really fun to see those fans now embodying a new generation.
It's no secret that Pretty Little Liars was one of my favorite childhood shows, so I'm going to go home and binge it right now. Bye, y'all.